Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th to the 28th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me, offering you a reading. This person is not me. They are scamming you. Do not be scammed. Okay, with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Okay. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Cancer, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Fantastic. Let's move these over for you guys so you can see better. Awesome. All right, now let's look at your chakra cards for this time. Cancer, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. So we're starting here with creativity and the Sacral Chakra, and we're going to see how all this correlates to the tarot in just a moment. Then we have balance at the root chakra. And finally, we have holistic health, once again, the root chakra. And this is one of my favorite cards. Okay, now before we see the tarot, let's just look at the energy you need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. So we have here the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is very unyielding energy, okay? We are going to be focusing on the more negative traits, then of course the positive. And we're going to go into these much more deeply when we see what the tarot has to say. Then we have Strength, which is Leo energy. And we have the King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. If you're born on the cusp with Gemini, you can feel very comfortable around air sign energy. This one you're just going to have to be mindful of because you might feel very comfortable around them. But then again, you know, they kind of do a 1-2 punch. Just like with the Leo energy, if you're born on the cusp with Leo, you'll feel very comfortable around that energy. It's just not going to be right for you. Now, the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. We have the moon, Pisces energy, time frame February 19th to March 20th. You have the 8 of air, the 8 of swords, the Empress, and the 5 of swords. Ooh. Intense? Very, but I like it. You have the messenger of water, so the knight of water, you're coming through as a knight. You're represented by the cups, water, in the minor arcana. You're represented by the chariot in the major arcana. You have the 6 of fire, the 6 of wands. The 6 of air, the repeat of the number 6, shows that you are being very nurtured during this time. It also shows that you're going to be more inclined towards leaning towards nurturing. You want that nice cozy space, like curling up with a nice cozy blanket and a cup of cocoa. That's going to be your thing during this time. Your heart needs it. It really does. So you have the 6 of swords, and then you have the 5 of pentacles. The repeat of the number 5 here is a freedom number. It is a sense of wanting to break free. And we can see this it's from a sense of poverty. It's from a sense of lack within your life, within your relationships, within your world. There is a sense of, I don't want this anymore. I'm tired of repeating this pattern over and over and over again. When will it be my time? It's one of the things you're going to find yourself asking yourself during this time. You have the 2 of swords, the 10 of pentacles, which I like that. That's prosperity that lasts for generations. Another 5, the 5 of wands, and the 7 of pentacles. Okay. So it's intense? Yes, it is. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's start off with your chakra energy. We have your sacral chakra and we have your root chakra. So we're going to start with your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is so important. So our sacral chakra is where our sexual energy is held. It's also where our creative energy is held. But to make things a little bit more complicated, it's also where all the negativity from this life and past lives are held onto. So we hold a lot within our sacral chakra, and a lot of it is super important to us. But because of the hurts and the pains that we hold in this chakra energy space, we don't always meet our full potential. We kind of get to a certain point and then fall back. So with this is, so, okay. What Spirit is showing me right now is this would be a brilliant time. The practicing of Karatza, I'll link that in the description box below. I found a nice video for everyone, so it's of people talking about it, so it's very nice. There is a sense here of opening up your world, opening up a lot of the hurts, a lot of the pains, a lot of the disappointments that you have been through in this life and in past lives, and stepping into your power right now, the power of your present. And there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. That's why at your heart, you want to be nurtured. You want to be loved and adored and taken care of. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. This is a time where you're going to be feeling just a little bit vulnerable. And if you don't have anybody in your life to sit there and really kind of fill that void for you, this is a brilliant time to really connect with divinity and say, how do I move forward in my life? Where do I want to be within my existence? Because, everybody doesn't have to be on the same journey. You can be single and perfectly happy, perfectly contented with your life. And so here, with the Sacral Chakra coming forward, it's letting your creative energy flow within you. It's letting your sexual energy flow within you. It's embracing your power and your understanding and the beauty of your truth. And it's ascending to a higher place. And during this time, you're focusing on an ascension. You're focusing on freeing yourself from fear and stepping into your reality and your world. But there's always going to be this pull, this darkness that's going to try and pull you back and say, well, you don't really want to do this. It's easier if you just stick with what you know. If you're in a kind of place that you understand better, this place of pain, this place of hurt, this place of disappointment. And it's finding the wound mates of the world. And it's like, oh, well, I know that trauma. I know that drama. That I'm okay with. And we see that acted out in every single aspect of our life. You have, at the root of your heart, you have poverty. And what divinity is saying here is that poverty needs to be seen. And you need to be patient because you're stepping out of it. And that poverty isn't poverty simply of money, though that can be a huge part of it. But it's the poverty of love. It's the poverty of acceptance. It's the poverty of feeling like you belong. It's the poverty of being well. So many people in our world, we're all so sick all the time. And it's like, no, let's stop this. Let's step into a place of health and prosperity in all aspects of our lives. And then you have here balance at your root. Your root is calling for balance. Your body is calling for balance within you. Balance, harmony, prosperity, bounty, success, brilliance. And I'm going to be linking things with, sleep and vitamin D and all these other really cool articles that I found online that are just absolutely amazing. So please, please, please listen to them. And, if you take away one thing, it's brilliant. So here with the balance, you're looking at the balance within your life. You're looking at the balance for yourself. You're looking at saying, where is my harmony? We're all so out of harmony. So here, to find that harmony, to find that acceptance, to find that power, to find that way to move forward. And it's connecting with the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine energy of the self. It's connecting with the logical and the creative. It's connecting with the force and the fate. Yeah, that seems right here. So it's as you're moving forward, you're finding this balance, you're finding this harmony within yourself. And we move to holistic health. And holistic health is being, first of all, your holistic you, your natural, prosperous, bountiful you. And this is going to be a big deal because so often we change ourselves for everybody else. It's like, oh, well, I can be a little bit like this for this person. And I can be a little bit like that for that person. And then all of a sudden, we find that throughout the day, we just go from wearing one mask to another, instead of saying, this is me. Like it? Awesome. Don't like it? Well, that's okay too. So here, with the holistic health, there's a sense of stepping into your holistic self, your true, authentic self. And then there is also a sense here of looking at your body. If you suffer from chronic illness, addiction, anything like that, or you just want a better life, look at your diet, look at the drinks that you drink, look at everything, and start kind of ripping it apart and saying, okay, what do I need in my life to make me healthier? Start with one thing that starts to make your body feel better. Drink more water. That's an awesome thing to do. And then you're going to start to see, as you drink more water, you flush out the bad toxins. You also have to get yourself used to drinking more water. So, do be prepared for more frequent bathroom visits. But here, it's like, okay, so you start to get yourself in line and you start to feel better. And then just keep that going. Keep yourself moving in the direction towards your optimum health, your optimum well-being. Because the world wants to keep you sick. Why? Because it's more money in it for them. Pharmaceuticals, everything like that. If you don't reach your full potential, or if you're always seeking for it, then you'll not get there. So here, it's like, yeah, if you're always seeking for it from somewhere else, not within, it'll always be a journey. So here it's like, embrace your prosperity, embrace your bounty, embrace your truth. There's more here than you know. And I'm so excited about this. I really, really am. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to be able to step into health and to step into a place where the chronic pain is gone. I mean, I suffered from chronic pain for so long, and I'm just starting to, come out of this place of pain and hurt. And I didn't even know I was in so much pain. That's how much pain I was in. It was just my normal. And it was exhausting and it was overwhelming, but it was my normal. And everybody said, no, that's your normal. This is just how you're going to be. And no. You're not meant to live like that. And that is something I'm astoundingly passionate about. So here, then we have the energy that you have to be mindful of during this time. The King of Pentacles, the Strength card, the King of Swords. These are people who, this is energy, okay? And you will confront this, usually in people, but it can also be in past memories of people, okay, that want to have control. This is a person who's astoundingly logical. Prove it. They see the interconnectedness of things. They see things very black and white. It's like white page, black print. That's the way it has to be. That's the way it is. And it's like, why? Why can't there be myriads of gray? And this can be a person who's very controlling. It's like, you get this job, you do this. I'm seeing this very much as a very stern father figure, but it can also be a mother. And no matter what you do, you could have always done better. And this could even be a boss that you're working for. No matter what you do, you could always do better. And that's a really bad place to be. That really corrodes your spirit, your tenacity, yourself. So here with the King of Pentacles, it's like looking at things and saying, okay, you're fact-based. You're totally of the head. If you've stumbled across this channel or if you've been here for a while, first of all, welcome to the family, or thank you for being a part of it. You're going to find that you need to embrace the emotion of it. You need to know the whys and the how comes, but you also need to know the heart and the soul. So that's something that you can almost feel like they're trying to take away an intrinsic part of you. It could be a partner where they're going to be very logical, very fact-based, very, it has to be a certain way. And you're just going to I just see it as like dancing in the rain. That's what you want to do. You want to go out and you want to just dance and laugh and have fun and not be told, like, stop making a scene. So here, it's not letting that crush your spirit. Because for some of you, Cancers, it's been crushing your spirit for just too long. It leads you to strength. This is a person who believes strength is might. It is fight and might, and you will do what I say. And again, because Cancer goes into Leo. If you're born on the cusp with Leo, or if you have any of these signs in your chart, you're going to feel kind of at home with them. Like, you can feel very at home with being logical and having things settled and, building things up. You can feel very at home with that. It's the extreme that you need to be mindful of. Just like with strength, you could be a very strong person, a very powerful person, a very, dedicated person. But strength is not, you do it my way or you're wrong. Strength is a conversation. Strength is, an understanding, a building. And that's where this person is lacking. Strength is my way, you live under my roof kind of thing, and you will follow my rules. And you're like, no, this isn't me. This isn't what I want. This isn't how I'm moving forward. This isn't where I need to be. And so just know this. These are people who are going to try and kind of push down, or an energy that's going to try and push down your natural, vivacious spirit. And the King of Swords, word games, entrapment, kind of sitting there saying something, kind of you interpret it this way, they meant it another way. Saying, okay, I want facts. There's very much like very facts, very logical, very, very cold, very distant. And you can understand this. You can sit there and say, okay, in some scenarios, you can't have your emotions, or you can't always have your emotions be so big, or in some scenarios, you have to be more logical, more detached. And that makes sense, but not all the time. And not to sit there and say, it's like this, or you're wrong. You need that give and take, because in your inner self, you're looking at a lot of the fears that you have, a lot of the doubts, a lot of the angers, a lot of the nightmares that the night brings. And you're sitting there and you're saying, no, I'm done. I'm done looking at the moon or looking at the night as fear, as doubt, as anger, as upset, as I can't move forward. And I'm going to start looking at the night as a time to connect with my dreams, a time to embrace what I desire, to look at my happiness, my joy, my understanding, and open up my world. The moon offers us so much. The day, the sun, it's the happiest card in the deck, right? Well, the moon reflects the sun's light. So isn't it giving us a reflected brightness of the sun, the reflective light? So it's mellowed down, yes, because we're winding down to go to sleep. We're embracing our rhythm. We're embracing our dreams. We're embracing our soul. So we don't want it to come with the ferocity of the day. But so often, so many of us, we have sleep problems. You can't really sleep, or you wake up, you always feel tired. And this is like, I'm done with it, right? I'm done with not being able to embrace the rest to heal my body. I'm done with not being able to look at my dreams and find comfort and peace from them. And it's opening up a world to you to say, walk this path, like embrace this truth. There is peace here. There is peace here, find it. And it can start off with simply taking that vitamin D, simply, being out in the sun just a bit. I know everybody gets told, oh, the sun is terrible. Well, it's not that bad. So embrace these nutrients to come into your body so that you can sleep and be and have a happy life, because the moon is showing us that there's happiness here. But if we're stuck in pain and we're not able to turn it off or distract ourselves with something else, then we never get to experience the beauty that awaits us. And it leads you to the Eight of Swords. It leads you to feeling trapped. And that in your inner self, when you're looking at what you want from life, when you're looking at your dreams and you're connecting with your dreams and your desires that the moon brings up, all the things that come that make us feel trapped, addictions, pain, hurt, disappointment, feeling like we don't have a choice forward. It's like, okay, well, this is nice, but I have all these responsibilities and I'm up late at night just worrying how to pay the bills, how to make things move forward. It's time to not let the world clip your wings. It's looking at things and saying, okay, listen, I'm going to do the best job I can right now, as well as I can, and I'm going to slowly and steadily build a powerful future for me, a powerful place to be, because I'm not defeated. I'm not going to be beaten. I'm rising up. I'm rising to a place of understanding and of truth and of nourishing myself and of opening up the doors. And the Eight of Air, the Eight of Swords, we can live, and people live in the Eight of Swords for their whole entire life, just like they live in the moon, not in the beautiful aspects of the moon, the blessings that come down, the quiet whisperings of joy and love, and that the cocoon the moon brings us, that coziness that we long for. What happens is that we see the nightmares, we see the doubts, we see everything that has to be done. And so we live either in the fear that the moon can bring, or we live in the cage of our own mind's making. And it's like, enough is enough. Now it is time to step through and embrace the Empress. Because the Empress, this is the essence of you that is held away. The Empress is the essence of all of us that is locked away, that is doubted, that is denied, that is kept silent. It is the nurturing energy that we sit there and say, oh, that's not that important. Just keep going, just keep pushing, just keep challenging yourself. But if you don't take time, if you don't heal, if you don't have those moments where you fall to your knees and say, I can't keep going. I feel too ill. I'm too tired. I'm too lost. I'm too in the darkness, in the gray. Then what is the point of keeping on pushing if we're not even going to enjoy it, or we can't even do it? And then it's like, oh, don't be a baby. You're not being a baby. You're in pain. You're hurt. Your soul is shattered. I mean, there are all these things that it's like, just buck up. No, heal. Turn inward to yourself and say, what is this? Why is this? And is this normal? And why am I accepting this as normal? The Empress gives us back our voice. She sits on a throne that she never knew she had before, or that we never saw. That's more importantly it. We never saw. So I'm going to link in the description box below the perfect mind. It's beautiful. Listen to it. It's very much the Empress card, the way I see it. And so here you're opening up your world. You're opening up your understandings. You're taking this truth. You're taking this power. And it's like, now I will not be silenced anymore. I was not made to live half a life, to just coast by or to just scrape by. I was made to enjoy my life, to take in my blessings, to hold my soul. Now, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old we are at all. And yes, you could sit there and say, oh my gosh, I want this to happen when I'm as young as humanly possible. Yeah, but a lot of times when we're younger, we don't see it. We just don't. So much wisdom, so much power, so much beauty comes with age. And yet, we poo-poo it. We sit there and we think, oh, I'm getting too old. Oh, I'm never going to get there. I can't ever. It's like, no, you can. And you hold sacred wisdom with you now. You are an elder. You are a teacher. You are a wise person. Why do we discard that? It's taking that power. It's claiming that throne. And it's looking at the trap that we've been in. The Five of Swords is the trap of the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, the things that we have lived before. Now, it can be from past lives, and it can also be from, generational curses. And they're the hurts that have defined us. They're the pains that we sit there and when we see it, because we find ourselves as human beings falling into wound patterns. Okay, we will find jobs that make us feel insignificant and take away our voice, and they all laugh at us. And you might actually, I know I had a job where they all would just laugh at me. It was like, oh, what a fool. And it's like, how am I supposed to know if you don't tell me anything? And that bit of cruelty. But that was the world I was used to. So why wouldn't I perpetuate it? And so here with the Five of Swords, it's like, it's perpetuating those wounds. It's facing those things where you sit there and it's like, well, I guess this is just my life. Until a moment comes, until it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, or the awakening comes forward. And it's like, no, this is not me. And I do not want this. I will not be settling for it. And you might actually feel yourself becoming physically like angry or repelled by what's around you. And it's like, I can't do this anymore. The Five of Air, the Five of Swords, is looking at these hurdles that are put in our way, looking at the hurts, the pains, the disappointment, the people that keep on coming back and back and back into our lives, the challenges that we keep on having to face. And it's like, no, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And it's very much that with the Eight of Swords, it's like, I'm not going to be in this cage anymore. And it has you being a warrior of your heart. It also has you getting the most brilliant information from the most unlikely spaces and places. So here, she's talking to a seahorse. And seahorses are so incredibly tiny. You're going to find this beautiful information from the tiniest, most overlooked people, places, things, truths. You're opening up your world to your understanding. You're being a defender of your heart, of your soul, of what fuels your body. We're mostly made of water. So to be ruled by water is to be ruled by the very essence of us. And so here, as you're embracing your emotional understanding, as you're embracing what helps fuel your soul and your mind and your being, right? You're looking at things so much differently. And yes, you might say, well, how does it help you fuel your soul? Your soul is held by your body or outside of your body, however you want to see it. It's because if your brain doesn't work, if your heart doesn't work, if your organs don't work, and your soul is simply there, then we can't experience it the way through our bodies like we are experiencing it now. And that might not be a bad thing, but it is definitely a different thing. And so here, the water, it fuels you. It fuels your soul because it gives you the energy to connect. The energy to connect with this world. And it's opening up your mind and your understanding and your reason. And you are saying, I am fighting for this. I'm moving forward for this. And what's going to be so interesting, it's like, it's not a fight. It's almost like you're looking at it and saying, I'm not fighting this fight anymore. I'm not doing the same old gosh darn battle anymore. I'm moving towards wisdom and truth. And you're taking your ideas and everything that you desire. And with the Six of Wands, it's like, this is what I'm celebrating within myself. This is how I'm moving forward. This is where I need to be. Life needs to be not edged in gray, but in gold. You know, when we look at it, when we have really happy, joyous memories, they're always bright. They're always bright within our minds. But when we have sad memories, it doesn't matter if we're in the middle of a sunny day. It's always just going to be a little bit gray, a little bit dulled. And so the Six of Wands is celebration. It's fire, it's passion, it's truth. It's saying, I celebrate me. Because if I don't, who the heck will? And why would they? If we are an Eeyore-like person and always blue and always, having our house fall down around us, the world fall down around us, what is there to celebrate? Here it is saying, I am claiming my power. I am claiming my truth. I am knowing my path, and I'm moving forward in it. You might say, how do I know my path? How does that door open to me? Well, it's starting by listening to the small things and embracing your talents, your blessings. We all have them, except we're all told that if they're not a certain way, they don't matter, they don't count. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If they bring happiness into your life, if they elevate your energy vibration, instead of having the base energy vibration that's down here, you raise it up. You have this beautiful energy vibration. You have this beautiful passion. You have this beautiful power come forward. And then you start saying to yourself, you know what? I'm a pretty awesome person. You know what? I really do try really hard. Okay, sometimes my temper gets in the way. Okay, sometimes I definitely overcompensate or, am too indulgent in things. But that's cool. I'm learning. And because I see it, I can understand it. And I'm still going to celebrate me because it was a good try. I may not have gotten where I want to be, but I've definitely gotten farther. I always see the Six of Wands as having that really good boss that elevates you, that brings you together, that cheers you on. And you really want to work for that boss. You're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give my all. And then you have the boss that's always telling you you stink, that's manipulative and cruel and, cunning. You don't want to work for that boss. You scatter when that boss comes around. What type of boss do you want to be for you? Because you're taking up your knowledge, you're taking up your understanding, and you're moving forward. It's like, enough is enough. I move forward in my greatness. Is it scary? Absolutely. Are the waters choppy? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But you're soothing them. You're guiding the way. You are that defender of your truth. And there's also something magical about the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords. Because here, it's in the clouds. This is a ship on air. But also in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a child and a woman. You can assume it's the child's mother, and a man who steers the ship. But I always see that as us as the children, and the woman as the sacred feminine that sits right there with us, and divinity, the sacred masculine, steering the ship. And when we see it as that, as you take all your knowledge, as you take all of what you gather, you're on an adventure. And you're always going to be learning from it, always going to be diving deeper into it. And it brings you to the Five of Pentacles. It brings you to poverty. And you might say, okay, how can I be crowned with being a knight and having this prosperity and this bounty, and then rooted in poverty? Where is my heart coming from? Well, your heart is coming from a place, and we can see this within your inner self of hurt and pain and disappointment and fear and doubt and that fight, that battle to say, but this is my life, this is my throne, this is my voice. And the Five of Pentacles is being kept on the outside of wealth. Now, it's money or something you value as much as money. It can be kept on the outside of family, kept on the outside of friendships, kept on the outside of health, kept on the outside of peace of mind, of security. Money, prosperity. We see money, we think prosperity. Divinity sees it as the whole person. And is saying, it says quite loudly, that we have a crisis of poverty within our world. And it's of the soul. It does not matter how much money you have. You could be the poorest person that Spirit looks at. And so here, with the Five of Pentacles, you're going to see what it is that makes you feel poor, what it is that makes you feel like you don't have. And what that means are those moments in our lives where we just felt like the door got slammed in our face. We were trying, we were working really hard, we were dedicated, we were determined, and that door just slammed. It's like, enough is enough. And so we felt like we'd always be on the outside. This could happen when you were very young. We have our coping mechanisms develop when we were really little. And so if you felt like that door was closed in your face enough while you were little, it's like, why even try? So you might find yourself being very timid, or you might have found yourself seeking an escape, you know? And so here, it's looking at poverty, and it's saying, enough is enough. I'm not on the outside of wealth anymore. I'm not being held back or being held down. I'm not being shunned from my birthright, which is my success, which is me being that warrior of my truth and my passion and what I desire and moving forward in it. And then you see choices coming in. And here, it's like, be very mindful of the choices that come forward in the public arena, because you're having this battle, and it's between your wealth, and it's between your failure and your hurt and your pain. And I call that poverty. And it's like, which one wins? The prosperity, the bounty, the wealth, the abundance, or the hurt, the pain, the disappointment? And in the public arena, you have a choice. It's like one or two ways. So, okay, you can move forward. And the hurt, the pain, and the disappointment, it's easier. It's easier to sit there and say nothing's going to change. It's always, going to be this way. Or you can say, enough is enough. This is my life. This is my life. And I get to live it. I get to live it with joy and with prosperity and with bounty and with what's important to me. Not what I need to accumulate to be important to everybody else. And then when you start to see that, when you start to see the choices that you have, and you start to see the conviction that you have, and you start to see, your energy vibration, if you're here, again, your energy vibration is higher than so many others. Okay, you're so different than the rest of the world, which can make you feel bad, most definitely. Heck, I thought I was wrong for the longest time. And then I was like, this is me. I can either apologize or I can embrace it. I'm choosing to embrace it. And that's what we have to say. I'm done. I'm done apologizing. I'm embracing me. And so here, you're going to see that the two roads that you have opened to you, the one of, anger and doubt and fear and lower vibration, okay, the one where the world is and everybody's just yelling at everybody else, or the higher one of success and of bounty and of saying, this is me. And it might not be that you have the big house and the fancy cars and everything like that. Your success, what divinity sees as success, is living in a world where you aren't suffering from poverty, where there isn't the hurt and the pain and the fear and the doubt and the addictions and the running away and the emptiness within your soul. And so the two roads open. And then you start to see there are so many different ways forward. It's not initially just what you thought life could be. It could be A or it could be B. You're going to start to see things opening up to you because, if you choose the higher vibration, they start to open up to you in a way that you hadn't imagined. And it leads you to wealth and prosperity and bounty and abundance. It leads you to the 10 of Pentacles. It leads you to wealth that lasts for generations. And it's like, my goodness, this is it. This is the bounty. This is the abundance. This is what I've been working towards. And when it says wealth here, it doesn't mean that you're going to leave everybody an inheritance or, pass with bundles of money. It means that there's a richness to your spirit. There's a safety to your soul. There's a bounty to you. The 10 of Pentacles is bringing forward lifelong dreams, is bringing forward a coming together of self and of understanding and of good news, I wouldn't be surprised if, as you really work, and it's really being focused on raising that higher vibration, if you start to see things slowly and steadily falling your way, like going in your direction, going your way. And it's like, oh, wow. And it can be very, very little things, but they add up. And it's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Oh, wow, I didn't think of it like that. And so the prosperity starts coming in, and it radiates out from you. It's the smile you give somebody, when you're out for a walk. It's the high, it's the little things. And then that starts to add up to lead to really big bounty, really big prosperity. And you're like, oh, wow, this is like coming home. It's almost like the prodigal son, right? Not to get all religious and everything, but the prodigal son left everything, said, I can do better myself. And it's kind of like we turn our backs on all the gifts that we have ourselves. It's like, okay, the world absolutely knows better. I'll take the gifts from there. And when the hollow emptiness comes, we step back home. We connect with divinity. We connect with that powerful truth. And it leads us to looking at the chaos within. And it's like, I'm done. With the Five of Wands, be very, very careful of other people's bickering and quarreling and getting all involved in that. You're going to be looking at something more. You're going to be looking for something more. And you're also going to be sitting there, and you can get caught in your own quarreling. It's kind of like, well, why haven't things happened already? And oh my gosh, I can't believe that, I've made so many mistakes and that I'm trying to move forward this way and it's just not happening. And you'll start to yell at yourself. You just will. And you can see it here. It's like you reach these points, but because there is so much frustration coming forward and there is so much that you're dealing with and you feel like your wings have been clipped, you're going to want to respond, to lash out. And here it's like, be very, very mindful of the energy that you're feeding yourself. If it's frustrated energy, if it's bountiful energy, if it's energy of doubt, because the chaos is building within at times. And you need to look at it and say, I acknowledge you, but I will not be ruled by you. And it's the chaos within us. It's the chaos of doubts and of fears. And it can be the chaos that's always going to be there. Like, those are always going to be our shadows that we have following us. But that doesn't make us wrong. And it doesn't take away all the good that we're moving towards. The Five of Wands is also the sense of looking at the abundance that is you. And then standing in you and seeing the world fight around you, seeing everybody fight around you and not getting involved in it. Don't get pulled down into their baser energy vibration. Don't get pulled down into their nastiness. With the Seven of Pentacles, be patient. Be patient because prosperity is coming. Be patient because it's divine timing, not our timing. And I know that's so annoying and I hate it, I do, but it's so much better. It's so much better this way. It's bounty and prosperity and abundance coming forward. It's sitting there and being able to nurture, being able to see grow what it is that you greatly desire. And it's knowing that if you rush it, oh, that's funny. Excuse me. So divinity just showed me, when I was little, I always thought like everything would cook faster, right? If you just turn the oven on and just turn it really high. No, it doesn't work that way. But when you're first starting off, you're like, oh, well, that would be great. Like everything will cook faster, everything will be better. And I just won. And then everything gets ruined. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. That's what it's like. Divine timing, divinity looks at us. And we're like those little kids trying to use the stove, or not little kids, but, people using the stove and thinking, oh, I'm going to turn up the oven really high and then everything will cook faster and I'll have my food sooner. And what divinity is saying, it's like, no, cook it on the proper temperature, cook it slow, cook it slower. It's like when you're cooking up on the stovetop, cook it slower and let the flavors steep in. Let things come together. And that's what divinity is saying here. It's cooking it slow. It's planting the seeds and it's nurturing it and watching it grow. And saying, because the roots are now deep, it's going to be so much more lasting, so much more powerful for you. And the roots are deep, the deep roots of prosperity and success and moving forward towards dreams. But they're happening in divine timing, not in our timing. And you put into the world, you put into the vortex, everything that you don't want, everything that you have learned from, everything that you've discovered. And I've always felt ever since I was little that this world isn't about mainly finding out what you want. That's like the goal. But the world is about, and the whole point of this game is finding out what we don't want, is seeing what isn't right for us, and learning to stand in our truths, no matter what anybody else thinks. So let's see, let's go deeper. Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, okay. Okay. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And one bonus card. So we put that over here. Okay. We have the Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. The Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Swords. So you have a positive King of Swords here and a negative King of Swords there. So this could be another reason why you feel like, oh wow, I should connect with this energy of this King of Swords person, in the people to be mindful of, in the energy to be mindful of. But there's also this sense of like that energy and your energy, they just don't mesh. The Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, and the King of Cups. You end with the King of Cups. You become the king, and that is awesome. The Eight of Wands. Okay, that is really cool. So we have here, we start off with the Four of Cups. This is awareness. This is divinity handing you a gift that does not look like a gift. And it comes when you're facing your fears, you're facing your doubts, you're facing your angers, and you're looking at feeling caged, overwhelmed. And divinity's handing you a gift. And it's like, listen, I have enough on my plate right now. One more thing, I can't do it. Even if it's a gift, like even if it's the loveliest thing. Have you ever been really stressed out? And then somebody does something lovely for you, but because you're so stressed, you don't see it. You're like, oh my gosh. And then you have to step back afterwards, after you get out of your stressed head and everything calms down. And you go to that person, you're like, oh, thank you. Like, thank you. I'm sorry. I was just so overwhelmed. This is like the gift that divinity is giving you. It doesn't feel like a gift. It doesn't seem like a gift at the time. And you're like, one more thing? Seriously. But it's going to be beautiful. It is going to be beautiful. It's also going to start like opening up new insights, new ideas for you. And it moves you to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift. And it's a gift that you absolutely take. And you take it and arm yourself as a king, as somebody of knowing and of power. And the Ace of Swords, with the Empress is giving you this gift of knowledge, of coming into your space of being. So the Ace of Swords, Ace of Swords is air sign energy, right? And so with this air sign energy, it says here clarity, but it's also becoming a student of your breath. It's becoming a student of the power of being present within your body, within your mind, within yourself. So the Ace of Swords is opening up this world for you. And the power of your breath, it's so interesting. Like the ancient Hawaiians, when Europeans first landed on Hawaii, I believe that their name for the Europeans were something along the line of people who can't breathe right, because we breathe through our mouths. And we didn't know the power of breathing. We still don't know the power of breathing and how tremendously life-changing it can be. Better sleep, better life, better, performance in all areas. And so here, with the Ace of Swords, it's connecting with the breath. It's connecting with this understanding of truth and being present. Just try for a moment, just breathing through your nose. You can ground your hands on your table or on your lap, or just be aware of them if you're driving, and just start breathing through your nose and exhaling through your nose, just completely through your nose. It's challenging, absolutely. And you feel like you need to breathe through your mouth. But breathing through your nose breathing is amazing. It changes so much and helps us so much. It helps us with allergens and, everything. So here, it's focusing on the breath. And I would really say to start focusing, and what Spirit is saying is to start focusing on just breathing through the nose. It makes you also much more present within your life. It almost makes daily breathing meditative breathing. And so just breathe through your nose, and you're going to see that you start to connect with that throne, with that divinity, a lot more. The Ten of Swords. Over the Five of Swords, this is transforming. You have here, you have yourself coming to the end of a cycle mentally. The Ten of Swords is all the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets that we've been through in our lives. This is usually 10 years, okay, of disappointments. And, even if you're in your best year you ever had, you still have a disappointment. And it's the lesson you learned from that disappointment. So the Ten of Swords is this lesson, is this understanding, is this resurrection of self. We're not the same person that we once were. We're embracing our power. We're embracing our truth. And you find that that's, having you face things that have held you back for so long. Because you're going to start to see, I'm not the same person I was when I started this. I'm not going to have my voice silent. I'm not going to be held back anymore. I'm not going to be defined by the times I fell down. I'm going to be defined by the times I got up. And your rising, your resurrection of power and understanding is exquisite. And it brings you to the Eight of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off. You see this in the smallest of places and through the most charming of wisdoms that come your way. And you also see this in being able to celebrate yourself. It's like your blood, sweat, and tears has paid off. The Four of Swords is saying, now step back and rest. As you're moving forward, as divinity is guiding you, as the sacred feminine is holding you in her arms, connect with all the hardships, all the pains, all the disappointments you have been through. Connect with all the doubts and all the fears that you have had and all the ways that you have moved forward. This is the time with the Four of Swords of looking at the pain and the disappointment and saying, wow, this was a harder journey. This was a more intense journey than I ever imagined. And it leads you to being a king of your mind, a king of your understanding, a king of your ferocity. And that king is over the poverty. So the king cuts through the poverty of the Five of Pentacles and says, no more. Now I live in a place of wealth, abundance, understanding. This is knowing your mind. This is maybe even being a bit cold sometimes and saying, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. This is who I need to be. And it moves you to understanding your truth a heck of a lot more. And it moves you instead of, especially for you, Cancer, as somebody who will give and who will spread themselves so thin, but to sit there and to say, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I desire for my life, can be like, okay, you know what, guys? You guys have to give me a moment. I need to take care of me. I need to open up this door. And it brings you to the Two of Pentacles. It brings you in the public arena as you start to see the two paths, coming forward. And as you raise your energy vibration, you start to see the branches coming out of the endless possibilities. And they may not necessarily be endless, but the much more numerous possibilities of you stepping into your power than you had ever had before. And the being blessed, the walking into the wealth of the Ten of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is ambition, yes, but it's trying to juggle everything. You're not going to be able to juggle everything. It's going to be too much. Look at what you need, look at what you want, but also make sure you're taking care of you, because you'll juggle everything, right? You'll sit there, you'll have everything up in the air, but you'll forget to take care of yourself. And so everything will fall so much more quickly, so much more intensely than you wanted to. And so here, with the Two of Pentacles, it's like I step into my prosperity, I step into my wealth, and then I can balance for everybody what needs to be balanced, or at least for myself what needs to be balanced. But if I don't step into the presence of me, I won't be able to balance anything. And I will just feel more overwhelmed and more overwhelmed. It brings you to the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is defense, yes, against the chaos of the Five of Wands, against the chaos internally, externally, but it's also knowing when to pick your battles. It's also saying, I cannot fight everything. And if I fight everything, I'm just going to wind up disliking it. It's kind of like with my nephew, okay? Today, he wouldn't eat his peas. He just wouldn't. He didn't like them. He gagged. He was like, why are you feeding me poison? And I looked at him. I was like, you love peas. And he's like, no. And so I set the peas aside. We played for a little bit. And then he ate the peas. It was awesome. I put in some chicken too. It was awesome. But I had fought him before. I've been like, you are going to eat. This is the time you're going to eat, and you're going to listen to me. Gosh darn it. It doesn't work. It's shocking. It just doesn't work. You can be worn down by somebody who's under 2. And so here, it's looking at things, and it's saying, I'm picking my battles. I'm knowing where I stand. I'm knowing what I want. I know it's important to me. And as that comes into reality, as you sit there and you're like, I do know what's important to me. And those idiots over there, who are getting me mad, they're aggravating me now. But the long run, I'm embracing my power. I'm embracing my truth. I don't need to fight them. I need to stand for me. Now, when things really do need to be addressed, people will also take you a heck of a lot more seriously because you're not going to be overly hot-tempered. And it moves you to being the king. It moves you. And why I love the King of Cups, he's like my favorite king, is because you have the warrior king here, right? The King of Swords, the king of action. This is spontaneity, action, defense, logic, power, coming together into your power. The King of Cups is like, listen, the only person I can rule in this world is myself. Period. End of discussion. And so here, this is understanding. This is understanding that you only rule you. This is understanding that you only have power over you. And this is embracing that power. This is embracing that understanding. This is leading by example. And it's becoming a brilliant and powerful king because of it. People look at you as somebody to follow instead of just another one of the herd, because you are standing in your power, your grace, and your divinity. And that's extraordinary. The Eight of Wands, everything starts changing. Everything is changing. That's why you're meeting so much resistance. That's why you're having these battles, because it's like everything is changing. Things are moving you forward. Take care of yourself, okay? Don't take things too seriously and stand in your power. Stand as a king. And don't let people tell you that that's not your right, because it absolutely is. Okay, let's see what your spirit animal message is. Cancer. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, 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 Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels. Fantastic. Ooh, 4. That's awesome. And so we have here the whale spirit. Trust in the great mysteries. Seriously, we're not supposed to know it all. Trust in the mysteries. Trust in the divine way forward. We then have the chameleon spirit. Act as if. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. Act as if you know what you're doing. Act as if you have all the confidence in the world. Act as if. It will come. It'll build. The greatest way to build something, the greatest way to embrace something is through doing. So acting as if, going after it, that's doing it. And that's extraordinary. It brings you to the electric eel spirit. It says bring your ideas to life. Give power to your ideas. Give power to yourself. And then finally, we have the Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. We can see that with the Eight of Wands. Life is speeding up. And ready or not, here it comes. So embrace it and embrace the challenge of it. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the cat spirit. Claim your independence. It doesn't mean you have to, walk out on everything and say, I need to be completely independent. It means that you sit there and you say, this is me. This is what I want. This is what I love. This is who I am. I claim my independence. I claim power over my life, and I move forward in it. It moves you to your subconscious person message, which is the Prince of Pentacles. Slow and steadily, you build your prosperity. You build your success. You build your bounty. Very solid foundation. This is something that you're fighting for. This is something that you absolutely believe in. It leads you to your subconscious chakra message, which is inspiration. It's a new dawn. As you embrace your power, as you embrace your understanding, as you connect with your inner self, it is a new dawn. It is a new day. It is a grace and a passion and a beauty. Your subconscious tarot message is the Page of Air, the Page of Swords. You are being a student of your breath, of your desire forward, of who it is that you are. You are seeing that, and it is, it's the gift of the Ace of Swords. You are seeing this gift of awareness, of stepping into your body, stepping into your understanding. This is what Spirit was talking about earlier. And then it becomes a gift of your knowledge, a gift of your truth, a gift of your mind, because you're feeding it more. And it is serving you very well. And you become a student of how you move forward, of where you stand, and what it is that you truly desire. But really, focus on the breath. Focus on just breathing through your nose. It sounds so silly that something so simple can be so powerful. And then finally, we have the Five of Wands. We go deeper into the Five of Wands. So as you're being a student of your essence and of yourself and of what you desire, your breath, your being, your presence, you have battles coming. Battles, doubts, fears, and we see that in the public arena. You're going to have people who attack. You're going to have memories that attack. You're going to have things that want to push you down, low base vibrations. Sit there and say, be like everybody else. Don't. Keep your energy vibration high. Keep yourself stepping into your power, stepping into your truth, knowing what it is that you desire, and saying, no, I'm not. I might slip every now and then, we all do as human beings, but I am not being pulled down. We rise. And the battles, they show us that we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So just be aware of that, and also be mindful of that energy kind of lurking around you during this time. All right, Cancer, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a reclaiming of our positive energy. As you move forward in power, as you move forward in truth, as a king, as a warrior, as a person who is so much more clued in to your reality than other people can even imagine being. You will hit opposition, yes, but that is because you're elevating yourself in such a profound and powerful way. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.